You spent hours picking the perfect airport outfit, something cute, comfy, totally selfie-ready. But then comes TSA. Suddenly you're barefoot on a cold floor, arms out, explaining your bra to a stranger, while the girl in sweatpants is already sipping wine at the gate. It's not just bad luck. It's the outfit. That oversized sweater, those knee-high boots, even the tiny hair clip you forgot was metal. They all add up. And when you fly often, these little details stop being funny and start becoming exhausting. So in this video, we're breaking down what not to wear when you fly, and what to wear instead. Because travel should feel effortless, not like a security obstacle course. You're walking through the scanner, arms overhead, not a care in the world. Then beep. TSA pulls you aside, and now you're standing there, confused, while someone in uniform asks if you're wearing anything metal. Spoiler, it might be your bra. Yep, Underwire bras. Tiny, hidden, and somehow always picked up by the scanner at the worst possible moment. Not every time, but often enough that it's become a thing. And if you've ever had to explain your lingerie to a stranger in a crowded airport, you know, this is not the vibe. So what's the move? Go wireless. A soft bralette, a comfy sports bra, even a strapless one with light padding. Way less drama, way more comfort, especially when you're halfway into hour 4 of a middle seat. And while we're talking metal, your bra is not the only culprit. Tops with big zippers, shiny buttons, or bedazzled everything, they light up scanners like a disco ball. Belts are another one. If your pants can't stay up without one, maybe rethink the outfit. Stretchy waistbands exist for a reason. TSA officers have said it time and again. Avoid anything overly embellished or built with heavy metal details. It slows everything down for you and everyone behind you. The goal here is simple. Less metal, fewer delays, and way less explaining. Your outfit shouldn't be the reason you're stuck in security while your gate starts boarding. Think smoother, faster, and much less awkward. So your outfit's not drowning you anymore. Good. But too tight? That's a whole different kind of problem, especially once you're in the air. You know that oversized hoodie you always reach for before a flight? The one that feels like a warm hug and hides the fact that you didn't really sleep last night? We all have one. And those wide leg pants that basically feel like pajamas? They've saved many early morning trips to the airport. But here's where things get tricky. When your outfit is too loose, security starts asking questions your clothes can't answer. Big layers make it harder for scanners to see what's going on underneath. And that means extra screening. Suddenly, you're the one being asked to step aside while everyone else is collecting their bins and heading to Starbucks. Sometimes they'll ask you to take it off entirely, right there in line. And now you're juggling your bag, your laptop, and your sweater that's half off and tangled in your headphones. Not ideal. Then comes the part no one talks about, actually sitting in those oversized clothes. Once you're in that tight little airplane seat, all that extra fabric starts to feel less relaxed and more like you're wrestling with a small blanket that won't behave. Try reaching for your seatbelt under a giant tunic. You'll see what I mean. If comfort is the goal, and it usually is when you're flying, the better move is to go with layers that fit close to the body but still feel good. Soft joggers, a relaxed tee, and maybe a zip-up you can take off quickly. That combo will keep you warm without making you a target for a random pat-down. Security lines are enough of a headache without your clothes getting involved. So you can still feel comfortable. Just maybe don't dress like you're smuggling an extra carry-on under your hoodie. Sometimes you put on an outfit, look in the mirror and think, yep, this works. Everything's fitted, streamlined, pulled together, it feels right for about an hour. But then the plane takes off. You're in your seat. And the tight waistband that was manageable on the ground, now it's digging in. The jeans that looked great suddenly feel like they're holding your legs hostage. You start shifting around, trying to get comfortable, and nothing helps. The thing is, your body changes in the air. It's normal. Altitude, cabin pressure, sitting still for too long, it all adds up. And if your clothes are already tight when you board, you're not giving yourself much room to breathe. Literally. There's also a more serious side to this. When you're flying long haul, circulation matters. Really tight pants or leggings can restrict blood flow, especially around the knees and thighs. It doesn't happen to everyone, but in some cases that can raise the risk of things like swelling, or worse, deep vein thrombosis. That's not just discomfort, that's a health concern. And it's not just the outer layers. Shapewear, snug underwear, tight elastic bands. All of that pressure builds up when your body's already under strain from sitting still at altitude. You don't always notice it at first, but halfway through the flight, your whole body's tense and you're not even sure why. So, if the goal is to actually enjoy your trip, or at least survive the flight without counting the minutes, go with clothing that gives you room to move. Soft fabrics, relaxed fits, nothing that locks you in. And if you're worried about support, compression socks are your friend. Shapewear that squeezes your ribs? Not so much. Getting dressed for a flight shouldn't just be about looking good in the terminal. It's about being able to sit, breathe, and maybe even sleep without feeling like your clothes are working against you. So your outfit's no longer swallowing you whole. Great. But what about your shoes? They can sabotage your travel day just as fast. You don't really think about your shoes until they slow you down. And somehow, they always do at the airport. They feel fine when you're getting dressed, maybe even cute. But the minute you hit the TSA line, you start second-guessing everything. If they've got metal, you're pulling them off, no matter how rushed you are. Boots? You're balancing on one foot, unzipping like it's a workout. Heels? Every step toward your gate feels like punishment. The thing is, security doesn't care how good your shoes look. They care how fast you can get them off. There's no time to sit. No bench, just a long line of tired travelers and a tray waiting for your shoes, your laptop, your liquids, and, honestly, your dignity. And while you're doing the one-leg hop of shame, your laptop's already gliding down the belt like it's saying, "Good luck, girl." Even after you make it through, the pain doesn't stop. Airport floors feel endless. Heels or stiff shoes will wear you down fast. Flip-flops? You'll probably end up barefoot at some point, and not by choice. And if there's ever an emergency where you actually need to move quickly, that's not when you want something flimsy on your feet. So, what's the smarter move? Go for shoes that are easy to slip on and off, stay put when you walk, and don't set off alarms. Think slip-on sneakers, soft loafers, or flexible ballet flats. The right pair won't just help you through security, they'll save your feet the whole way. And it's not just your shoes causing scanner drama. Sometimes, the trouble's hiding right on your head. Your outfit's on point, your carry-on's packed like a pro, and your hair? Pulled back in a sleek bun that took 15 solid minutes and a small army of bobby pins to hold in place. Then you hit security. You step through the scanner. No jewelry, no belt, nothing in your pockets. And it still beeps. Turns out the problem's on your head. That metal clip or stack of hidden pins? Yeah, scanners catch those. And now you're standing in line, trying to pull your hair apart without dropping everything or losing your place. It's awkward, it's rushed, and honestly, not worth it. The easier move? Pick travel-friendly hair tools from the start. Fabric scrunchies, plastic claws, soft headbands, anything that won't light up the scanner or make you redo your whole look in public. Keep it simple, keep it secure, and get on with your trip. A little jewelry can pull an outfit together. A necklace, a few rings, maybe a pair of earrings. It adds just enough to feel polished, especially if you're traveling for work or heading straight to a dinner after you land. But at the airport, the wrong piece at the wrong time can slow everything down. It usually starts off simple. You think you're fine. Your bracelet feels small, your earrings are light, but then the scanner beeps. And suddenly you're peeling off accessories one by one, while your tray is already halfway down the belt without you. The tricky part is that metal doesn't have to be bulky to trigger a second look. Even small items can set off the machine, especially if you're wearing several at once. And if you forget something, even tiny, you're likely to get pulled aside for a full body check, which means extra screening and more time lost. It's not about skipping jewelry completely. You can still bring it. Just take it off ahead of time, place it in the tray for scanning, and put it back on once you're through. That way, you avoid unnecessary checks and keep things moving. Or go with non-metal options that won't attract attention in the first place. The less you have to deal with in the line, the more in control you feel walking through it. Travel already comes with enough unexpected moments. Your earrings don't need to be one of them. And once you finally make it through security, guess what hits next? That cloud of cologne from row 22. Yep, fragrance is another hidden offender. Airport lines aren't designed for comfort. You're packed in with strangers, moving slow, already stressed, and the air barely moves. Add a heavy cloud of perfume into that mix, and things go downhill fast. Fragrance travels further than you think. It doesn't matter how high-end it is. If the scent hits hard, it takes over the whole space. One person's idea of luxury becomes everyone else's headache. And nobody wants to be trapped between gate announcements, body heat, and a perfume that won't quit. This isn't about personal style. It's about reading the room. Or in this case, reading the terminal. Airports are tight, shared spaces, and no one opted in to your signature scent while they're trying to get through security without losing their boarding pass. If you want to make a strong impression, wait until you land. You'll still turn heads, just in a better setting. We've all worn something that looked amazing until it came time to use the bathroom. Rompers and bodysuits? Classic examples. They look great in photos, they feel effortlessly stylish, and they give off that "I've got this together" vibe as you stroll through the terminal with your carry-on. But then the seatbelt sign comes on, or there's a long line for the bathroom, or worse, mid-flight turbulence hits. Suddenly you're squeezed into a tiny stall, wrestling with sleeves and zippers, trying not to touch anything. And the only way to manage it? Strip down completely. Just to pee. And let's be honest, it's never just a one-time inconvenience. Flights get delayed, you switch gates, restrooms go downhill fast. That outfit you loved earlier starts feeling like a mistake. The second timing gets tight, and all you want is 2 minutes of peace. No one's saying you have to dress boring to fly, but anything that forces a full wardrobe change just to function, probably not made for 30,000 feet. You step out of your house thinking, this outfit's perfect. Soft knit, oversized layers, maybe even a scarf, just in case the cabin gets cold. You feel put together and ready for anything. Then the airport happens. There's no airflow in the security line. You're dragging your bag, taking off shoes, holding your laptop, and your layers? They're working against you. Before you've even found your gate, you're already overheating. By the time you sit down on the plane, your back's damp, your sweater's stuck to your skin, and now you're faced with a decision. Deal with the heat, or awkwardly wrestle your way out of a pullover in 18 inches of personal space. Airports are unpredictable. One terminal's freezing, the next feels like a sauna. What felt cozy at 6 a.m. turns into a slow roast by boarding time. Dressing smart for flying isn't about piling on. It's about knowing you might need to adjust. A breathable base layer and a light jacket you can stash in your bag will do more for your comfort than the chunkiest sweater ever will. It's probably the last thing on your mind when you're getting dressed for a flight. But what you wear actually matters in an emergency, especially if there's fire involved. Sounds dramatic? Maybe. But cabin fires do happen. Battery packs overheat, cargo malfunctions, smoke mid-flight. It's rare, but not impossible. And when it does happen, synthetic fabrics can make things a whole lot worse. Materials like polyester or nylon don't just catch fire. They melt. That flowy dress or stretchy leggings might feel perfect for travel, but if things go wrong, melted fabric can stick to skin and cause serious burns, way worse than natural fibers ever would. Even aviation experts have weighed in. Journalist Christine Negroni flat out warned travelers, skip synthetic clothes when you fly. She's not being extra, just realistic. Because in that kind of situation, what you're wearing could be the difference between walking off the plane or not. So what's the safer move? Natural fabrics. Cotton, wool, bamboo blends. They're breathable, way more forgiving in heat, and they don't melt into your skin. Just a simple swap, but one that could actually protect you when it matters most. You dress for comfort, you dress for style. But when you fly, it's worth dressing for safety too. Most of us choose outfits based on comfort, convenience, or maybe just what was clean that morning. But there's one detail people often forget: what your shirt actually says. Graphic tees, bold slogans, edgy humor, it might seem like no big deal. Something fun to wear on a flight. But airlines don't always see it that way. Gate agents have the final say when it comes to who boards. And if what you're wearing is considered disruptive, inappropriate, or aggressive, you can be denied entry. No warning. No debate. This doesn't come up often, but when it does, it gets messy fast. You're suddenly trying to defend your outfit choice in front of strangers, and your flight's boarding whether you're ready or not. Airports aren't the place to make a point with your clothes. Travel days are long enough without adding tension before takeoff. A clean, neutral tee won't win you extra likes, but it also won't leave you stuck at the gate explaining a joke that didn't land. It's funny how something as small as what you wear can shape your entire travel day. Not just how you look walking through the terminal, but how smooth security goes, how comfortable you feel mid-flight, and how much you're thinking about your clothes instead of your trip. None of this is about perfection. It's about giving yourself fewer reasons to stress when you're already juggling time zones, carry-ons, and boardings that somehow skip from 3 to 9 without warning. So if something in this video made you pause, maybe rethink a habit, or even just made you feel a little more prepared, great. That's exactly the point. And if you've got your own go-to airport outfit that never lets you down, I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments. Thanks for being here. And if this helped, don't forget to like or share it with that one friend who still insists on wearing lace-up boots and a bodysuit to a red eye. We all know one. See you at the gate.